Yes. That was on the portal too.
That was all for you.
Yes. Yeah, I was, that's Judy's birthday. I had scheduled for Joe to put
I've
my,
been crowned. I mean, there's no more.
and
There's no more to be done.
it was, my dad passed the day, or not the day, we had a funeral. Well, then it was so cold, Joel can't fit my truck in. And I'm like, well, I don't let it sit outside the freezer all day.
Yeah.
And then I called him, he's like, well, I got COVID anyway. Don't-
Okay,
Good.
We're good.
Yeah, let's get started. All meeting order 12:11. First item is approved the minutes from the previous meeting. Has everybody had a chance to look at those?
So we can make a modification on the date. Because I think it actually says May 2021. It's still-
It does say
Yep.
that.
Anything else other than the date modification?
Nope, I make a motion, we approve the minutes with that modification.
Was there also did we not have a previous meeting since August?
the last meeting was December 8th.
I was saying the one before that. Item number 2 says approve the minutes of the previous meeting from August.
Right.
25th.
It was, that was
how
correct.
long we, okay. Very good.
With that, changes the minutes of the day. Alan's made a motion. Any second? Mark second. All those in favor?
I,
Anybody opposed? All right. Move on to financial.
And remember, we got people on here too, so as far as
Okay.
if they raise their hand or whatever, you might.
All right.
If y'all oppose anything or whatever, just raise your hand on the Zoom.
Move on to the financial report. Sure.
Okay. So we had a couple of credits that, as far as P66, we had a couple of donations, contributions from them. We had the one from last year that Tim had brought me. We had the one that they went ahead and paid this year's contribution, and we also had the deposit for the trailer that we're going to discuss on the MOU today. And then we also had a deposit, all those together were 15,000. And then we had a deposit for the 10,340, which was for the ultra cold freezer that we received from P66. So total bank balance 40,345.98. 40,345.98. So I like to say that 8,500 on my record keeping, it's encumbered as the MOU and what we decided to do with that today.
Anything else coming out that we're looking at first? Anything we have to pay coming up?
Other than the regular contract pay, that's the only thing we have encumbered is that.
So entertain motions to accept the financial report.
Make a motion. To accept.
Somebody want a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second, we accept the financial report as given. All those in favor?
I,
Anybody opposed?
Who was the second one?
I was
Brandon.
Financial report there.
I've only received 2 events. One was a spill event, and then the other was a emissions event. I have those if anybody wants to look at them. That's all I have.
All right. I don't need anything right to know.
No, I did get the file for 2020's tier 2 reports. Did get that downloaded to my computer. We can work on that. That way we can actually work on some of our future scenarios.
Did you get it into Cameo? Okay.
I did get it in Cameo. It actually went pretty fast.
Yeah. I think we're at 170 facilities in the county.
Yeah. So we still government, wise, I still don't have access.
To the account, but you have, well, now you got the file, so
I got,
we'll still, if you need to, I can pull off another copy of the file.
okay,
Mine.
anything else?
Anything on public education information? John or Warren?
I know Warren said he couldn't be here today. John is not here.
So, not John or Warren was, but Whistler, are you on there? Is Pinder on
Yeah, they're both on.
there? Is there some community education that you have planned for this month or next month?
Hey, Pender, did you get that?
Yeah, I heard him. I don't know that we have anything planned this year. What are you talking about?
On your calendar, I thought you had something in the works for the next month.
Stand by. Don't keep going. I gotta look.
What do you say?
I think you said keep going, right, Pender?
We'll come back to it.
He's shaking his head. All right, Chief Galloway's not here, but anything, anybody got anything on the hazard material? Still reaching anything like that?
Are you also doing the alarm, your plant alarm?
We're still working, yeah.
You're still working on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're scheduled to go first week of March for the acceptance test on it. We got the poles in. But we still have to install the hardware. Does anybody have anything on emergency response? Drills or any training opportunities coming up?
Training wise, you've got the Wildland Academy coming up February 25th through March 6th over at Canyon. And then fire school wise, March 6th through March 11th, we got spring fire school down at Teeks.
City of Borders has the basic public information officer course through FEMA. That will be April 11th and 12th. It is on the TDEM calendar. There are a few prereqs, nothing major. They're all online, self-paced. Do you know that we had a lot of interest when Whistler started asking about it. However, we don't have a lot of people signed up on TDEM yet. So if people are interested, we need to get those people, signed up and registered so that way they don't cancel the class.
So do we have to have the prereqs in now, or can we get them as we get?
You got to have them before the class.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll have to take them before. There's one of the AWRs. It's a social media awareness, public information awareness. And there's one or two more that have IS 100.
You have to have that before you register to them.
I don't know. I thought you had to have it before you
We
started.
got, like Kenny is gonna take that. And I don't think he could register until he got those.
Whistler, do you know if you have to?
Yeah, that's correct. They wouldn't let Kenny register because he didn't have the prereqs.
Okay.
So you got to have them in there and uploaded before they'll approve it.
Also, for any departments, the city board, well, in conjunction with the county, we're gonna do the 7 mile burn in the southwest corner, Industrial Boulevard, all the way to Milner. So anybody that wants to help, I think, with that, once they get it fixed with that.
You can do that this afternoon.
We want to do it today.
It might be a bit more than a 7 mile.
Very well. Hey, we're not scared. We burn the pap all the time. We're not scared.
Anything else on training or anything around the county?
Yeah, the CCTA exercise after action and improvement plan was completed by Teeks. That's what we did in October last year for the city of Border. So if anybody wants to see that, let me know. I have nothing on the schedule for this month for training months for events, I guess.
Your public education, you didn't have anything? So I know you were working on, I think what Wes, or what Alan's talking about is that
Yeah,
program.
training. Yeah, no, yeah, I don't have anything. We are starting to try to do a public outreach. The city of Border Fire Marshal's office, for the last several years, has done a campaign through the National Fire Safety Council. They asked for donations pretty much, and we had to buy their products from them. I'm trying to step out of that. Use them, would still buy their products, but not only their products. So I'm looking at starting our own campaign next month. It's still in the draft form. I believe it's going to be called Project Shield Border. So that's what we're accepting donations for that, and that can assist fire, police, EMS, any kind of public outreach for the emergency services. So hopefully you'll see that pushed out again of March. I'm also working on a planning training calendar with emergency services. So that's in the draft as well. So if you got any training needs or any training opportunities that you know of that's coming up, please let me know. We'll try to get those pushed out to everybody else and put on the calendar.
Okay.
Next March, beginning of March is the pipeline training. And so if y'all interested in that, pipeline training is coming up in March in Dumas. My grandpa's doing one as well. Hutchins County's in Dumas.
Yeah. Paradigm one.
Yeah, it's paradigm. It's one of the pipeline trainings.
Do I do it? All right, move on to unfinished business. We have COVID-19 update.
Let's see. Oh, y'all probably can't see that really well, but talk through it, yeah. 63 fatalities per day. Currently, we're looking at 5,655 new cases. That's a per day amount. This is statewide, of course, and then 42 new fatalities per day. This is specific to hospital and hospitalizations. So last meeting, we were looking at 3,144 COVID patients in Texas hospitals. As far as pediatric patients, we had 66 in Texas hospitals. And then today we're looking at 7,479 COVID patients in hospitals, pediatric patients 222. Regional hospital data, our trauma service area A. So looking at currently in hospitals in the top 25 counties is 147 COVID patients. Adults in general beds, 82, ICU beds, 62. And then pediatric hospitalization, we have 3 patients in the hospital. In the last 24 hours, we've had 17 COVID patients admitted to the hospital. Then 50 of those, 147 are on ventilator. So this is BSA Northwest Texas specific. So we're looking at hospitalization rate, and so the rest of these numbers are not really specific to COVID. It's just really this one right here that's specific to COVID. So you can see that these have increased, but not necessarily ICU utilization is directly towards COVID. Especially when you're looking at the case requiring hospitalization. Or currently Northwest Texas and BSA is at 1.18%. So the top 25 county, the hospitalization rate last meeting was 19.19%, and this meeting is 13.3. So 13.3 of all patients that are hospitalized within the top 25 counties are hospitalized with COVID. This is specific to Golden Plains Hospital. This is they currently have 3 employees out with COVID, and they have 3 in-house admissions. Vaccine status, you can see that people vaccinated with at least 1 dose, 8,208, fully vaccinated, 7,087, and have given out 2,548 booster doses.
Tracking boosters.
Yeah, on the state form they put if it's first, second, or a third, or
So how does that show up on there? Is it-
just people with a booster dose.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
It's kind of small. So that's all I have.
Did y'all notice the other day, they had on the news about the percentage of vaccinated people, whether it be in the hospital, in the ICU, on incubators, or dead? And with Omicron, it's really come up a lot, like anywhere from 13 to 24% of, that's kind of taking the whole range, but from death all the way to just in the hospital. The vaccinated, really that percent has come up a lot with this new variant.
Yeah, so I didn't have it in this one, but in the commissioner's polling yesterday, there was there's actually a good graph that shows like the overall cases since the onset of COVID has started. And when you look at that and you compared it to the fatality trend, so you have these spikes in COVID, and then this last spike, the last one that hit, 1st of January it was almost twice as big as the rest of the other ones.
Right. On the contagious.
Yeah, just on case count. So you're just looking at case count trend. So you look at this spike that is twice as much as the rest of the cases, but then when you look at the fatality side of that spike, it is half as much as any of the others. So you're looking, and like I said, you can contribute that to a couple of different things, and you want to get like too off into the rabbit hole with that, but you can say, vaccination or, immunity, post-immunity to the virus or whatever the case may be. I think the overall picture is that the handling of the virus is becoming, so the trend of the fatalities is coming down. So even though we have twice as many cases, so it could be the variant, vaccinations, all that combined. I think that's what the big picture is of it. So.
They got any more shop clinics or anything coming up with their thing?
No, we just did one with Department of State Health Services. They came to the community opportunity center. and did one here in Border, and they did. Yeah,
They
they
did some at-home boosters.
yeah they did at-home stuff. There's a couple of different routes they did, and they assisted with the advertising and all that with that. And but as far as right now, we don't have any other clinics set up. It's just the availability of it at the pharmacy
Right,
and stuff
yeah.
are pretty available. So.
Yeah, it's a lot different than what we started.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're literally, if you used to, whenever they would take a vaccine, you'd have to schedule, we need 5 people up here because we don't want to waste it.
Right.
Now they're opening up a vial, and sometimes it's that one person that gets the dose out of that vial and the rest of it disappears. So it's the availability of it's
Right.
We're done really well with that.
Thanks for the report. Next thing is the trailer. I looked at it. The only thing I saw, I don't know that needs to be changed. It's just on the back part, we're talking about the reimbursement. Lepc will provide reimbursement to the county within 90 days. We didn't put the amount on there, but on the front, we have the amount of what we'll pay up to. So that should cover it, right?
I would think so. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Has everybody seen that? Go ahead, Jared. Can you talk about that?
So the last meeting, Phillips had brought a contribution or donation to the Lepc to donate to the Lepc for the purpose of looking at funding a trailer for the ESU, the Hutchinson County ESU. But with the Hutchinson County ESU being a county volunteer organization, that the county should be responsible as far as upkeep on the trailer, making sure it's registered, inspected, all that stuff, making sure it's operational for the roadway. So in this MOU, we'd agree if we got an MOU together for the Lepc on how the response is with the trailer, that the Lepc would donate that $8,500 to Hutchinson County ESU for the purpose of purchasing that trailer to the county. So,
Has the trailer been ordered yet, or?
it has
No.
not.
So we have,
We researched some, and they're running around $8,000 to $9,000.
Yeah,
Availability is like everything else. They may have one, they may not, so I
Right.
don't know for sure when we'll wind up getting one, but we
well,
may
so
have to order one. And
as far as y'all know with how budgets work, we have a pretty strict timeline we got to work with on taking this money in and making sure we get that trailer in before October. So
you mean on the county side?
on the county side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do we need to vote on this?
Yeah, I would need a vote to go ahead and present this MOU to Hutchinson County, and then I would go ahead and add the accepting commissioner's court, then provide the funding for it.
Okay. All right. Okay, so let's entertain motion to accept this MOU, like Jerry said, to be presented to the commissioners for
it's not the county yet.
for the funds, for the county to spend the funds that we reimburse.
I'll make a motion that the Hudson County LEBC accept the memorandum of understanding between the LEBC and Hudson County for presentation to the Hudson County Commissioners Court, provided they approve as well that the MOU and the LEBC agree to reimburse the county for up to $8,500 for the trailer to provide the ESU the ability to respond to the county.
I'll second that.
I think we need you to repeat that.
I think he's got it typed out on the screen because he kept looking at the screen.
All right, motion made and seconded to accept the memorandum. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, over to new business. Before we get started on that, you guys have AEDs on your trucks at church? I'm ready to still have. What about you, Mark?
Yeah, we did.
You got AED? Yes.
Huh?
High roller over there.
He only had to take his money and put on
Well,
one
the
truck.
difference is Alan has a lot more trucks he has to take care of. I only have one.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
Simpler.
What are those costing?
Well, so, go ahead, Mark.
Were they 6? I'm 6.
They shouldn't. be
No,
that
we did
much.
ordered one not too
Well,
long
we
ago,
got some,
about
a
1,800.
little over like 350.
Okay, yeah.
1,800 is the last one we ordered
Yeah.
for the annex.
Should be right around $1,500.
That was with some extra pads.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the case, the pads, the signage and all that for
Wow.
about 1,500. Like I said, you can get them starting at, $700-800, but the quality ones are probably gonna be north of 1,000.
Are those the life packs, diesel controls?
This is everything from the Philips Heart Stars to cardiac science, Zoll.
We have a cardiac science. It's pretty, I mean, you get it either way, whether you have to push the button or it automatically does it.
Right.
It'll tell your pads are out of date. They're pretty sharp.
So is that something, like Fritz doesn't have them, they've been trying to get them, and one reason is that we're not getting funded. I look at it. Well, we want them, well, we also want them for, just want to know for calls, but I worry about it for firefighters. Alan, in the same boat, not having them, so that's something LEPC could possibly fund for maybe a couple for Frisch, a couple for Jeanette.
Yeah, I would just, under the current bylaw, we'd get a application in for that grant.
Okay.
We present it to
Okay.
the committee.
I'll do some research and I'll go with Alan, see what works best for, we better if we buy probably the same thing, something compatible with our EMS providers.
That way they connect up when they get there, they can just.
Yeah, that we just unplug
Well,
it, yeah.
Well, that's why I went cardiac sciences, because that's what Board had at the time at least.
Right.
And so, you're right, here, y'all take over the patient.
Yeah, you're
Everything's pretty good.
Okay. All right. How old is your?
How old? Oh, it's 3 years. 4 years. You won't make me mad if you don't get one of that.
So, and I will ask this question, is it programmable to, if the standards change, that it can be reprogrammed to the new standards?
I don't know that.
So that's consideration because it's about time for standards to change.
Yeah.
And then if they do, then
If you can't upgrade it, then it's gonna be obsolete.
Correct. Yes. So we'll put something together for next, maybe present next meeting for consideration. I just had that question. It's something we're struggling with the friction.
Well, you'll see more firefighters die of heart attacks than you do in fires
Yep, exactly.
on scene.
It's one of the little killers, right?
Yeah.
Either die on scene or as soon as they get home.
Yeah.
Throw a clock. Okay. All right, next thing on new business is funding. Consider approving funding to restock the fridge rehab truck. How do we do that in the past? I know.
They approved up to $1,000 in a certain time frame.
Right.
So whenever they needed to restock it, they would just come to me and say, we need, we restocked it. We had $400 worth of stuff.
So, okay, so basically bring you a receipt.
yeah.
Up to a certain amount.
Okay.
So is that still in effect or is it?
No, it was a 1 year
Oh,
thing.
okay.
So we actually had nothing on the books as far as restocking it last year. So I
Okay.
never got any invoices or anything as far as.
Yeah,
last
I know
year.
it's been a while.
Yeah.
It hasn't been used a whole lot, but then all of a sudden it got used.
So that's actually been out of date as far as the last, the vote on it, it's been
Okay.
out of date for almost a year.
Okay,
So we'd be voting on approving for a year budget, basically, of that.
Right, till, so you say till January of next year.
That's just to, yeah,
Whatever.
2022. No, okay. Well, then we can do that. So,
I'll make the motion that we fund the rehab of the truck up to $1,000 for calendar year 2022.
I'll say it.
motion made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Thank you.
So Zeb, did you hear that?
Yes, sir.
He's already shopping.
Yeah.
He was already in Sam's placing the order.
Yeah. So if you, wherever, I don't know where y'all usually buy your stuff at, but just keep your receipts and then we'll do a reimbursement on whatever you get.
All right, just a quick thing I added here, Jerry, for just quick discussion, new radio system.
Mhm.
My understanding is the hospital is not upgrading theirs at this time at least.
So Whistler actually had some communication with them just the other day. So Whistler, you wanna?
Yeah, my understanding, they're gonna try to get on they were working with a vendor to get a quote on a radio. I sent them a follow-up a day or two ago. I haven't got a response yet, but that's my understanding of their intention is to get a second radio. So the existing VHF will still work on the Pancom system, and they'll have a second radio for those on the new system.
I mean, they're gonna start answering one.
Well, we don't know that.
All right.
Where they're at with that process, I'm not sure, but they've reached out to a vendor in Amarillo.
I know you guys have been doing some testing. How's the new system working for you?
And so far, all the testing we've done has been above and beyond what I thought the system could do. And it's even today, I was in Stinnett and I went over to a public safety channel just to see. They haven't got ours turned on the public safety or the PS channels on our repeater sites yet, but I just turned it on just to see what it would do. And I was picking up Canadian River in 96 there in Stinnett. So I wasn't expecting that, but
Yeah.
it's still pretty good. So
How do those relate? How does the new system relate to the baseline program?
the small ones.
Small.
As far as the Bofang, I believe those are only UHF and VHF. So I think you can program into those. But the new system it's a 7,800 megahertz. It's a digital trunking system, so it is as far as the operations channels, the border fire, police department, border PD, Stinnett fire, those channels, you have to have a specific access to even go onto that new system. It's very it's a lot more secure than the other old stuff was.
I'll have to probably talk to Jason to Whistler
Mhm.
to get ours back up where they can communicate.
Well, so one thing with the stuff, when we're still leaving some mutual aid stuff in play, that for agencies that can't go on to the new system, we're still going to be able to communicate. So on some of the old Pancom stuff, or if it's on the V Fire channels or Simplex channels, we'll still have that capability. So those radios that you're talking about, we'll still be able to do that. So we'll still have and we're not, because we knew we were going to have that issue with coming onto the new system, making sure that we can still communicate with people that can't move on to the new system with, like, say, those little radios there. So we'll still have that capability.
So we can discuss our next meeting. March 15th is right in a month out. Does that work for everybody? Right in the middle of spring break on Tuesday. You said it's in the middle of spring break? I want to do that. The week after.
I won't be here.
I think I've got something to do with it. You know, get that whole week, Jerry, or just that?
Yeah, I'll be in Austin. Not at a resort.
Well, that's 29th,
But I'll be here then.
March 29th.
Hey, what day were you?
So the 29th.
March 29th?
29th.
Okay. And Jerry, just a reminder, on the 30th, we've got the subscriber unit training for Motorola.
Yeah, we got a meeting afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And that's also the week of
30th.
No, I'm good.
29th is good for us. 29th is? All right.
March 29th.
Okay, March 29th.
Do a hybrid.
Yeah, do y'all like it like this, or do y'all like
I
it? I like the.
For those that want to, they can, and for those that either want to distance or just, it's not convenient, they can remote in.
Yeah,
It works pretty good.
they can't get away. Like my boss, he was planning on being here.
Yeah, I think.
He couldn't get away, so he's in again.
Yeah, it's, I think it's a good to
Yeah.
have both options.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, and somebody booked like that room down there for like 6 months straight, so.
It's Rotary, they have a standing meeting.
They don't have a room we can use that has a monitor that you can plug in.
I'll ask, I'll see what we
Yeah, I
can.
almost got to eat down there.
Yeah, we just all need to plow through.
Yeah.
Just walk in there with Luan. they'll be-
If y'all want, I can get the meeting like at 11:30. Y'all want to come in and start eating, or
We used to do that
I can book it 30 minutes early.
It'll be
pre-COVID.
good.
Yeah, we can do that. You're gonna bring up the terms for,
Oh, yeah, and so next meeting, we will have to appoint a new chair and vice chair. So normally, in the past, the vice chair would step to the chair and we'd appoint a new vice chair. And then usually we try to stagger industry to public service. So however. we decide to do that.
I'm fine with doing another term. But we don't have a lot of people to keep rotating this through, so
Yeah.
I'm, as far as I'm concerned, I'm fine with that.
That's up to y'all.
Whatever the group wants to do.
I'm doing
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
it. I'm fine with that.
Because otherwise I hear the railroad coming.
Okay, so we'll figure that out next meeting.
Yeah, I'll put it on the agenda so we can actually make a decision on it. We'll do that.
Sounds good. Anything else?
So, yeah.
So one other thing on new business, and I'm gonna ask it in here. So you only have 2 emissions reports. What is the emissions that are coming off west of border?
Yeah, is that,
Last night when I left work,
It was awful.
it was a humongous cloud.
Yeah.
and I don't think it's just steam, it's something else.
No, it's not.
Last night it was black.
It's gotta be
Yes.
something.
That's coming out,
And
I
this
think
morning-
that's coming out of the cogen.
Cogens is white. Carbon blacks is, they're both from Midland, so.
Yeah.
Have been for quite a while.
I have not got a emissions report from them. I have not. And they're on our notification list, so I have not got anything from them.
That was-
So it might be a TCQ notification.
That was just something that I thought I would ask because I know I have been getting questioned about what's that coming out.
Yeah.
Or not.
Is it coming out steady or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's steady.
Yeah. It's real
I haven't been
steady.
out.
One of them's been doing it for months, the other one's been doing it for, well, they've both been doing it for months. One's been doing it for a long, long time.
So we can poke TCQ and so then give. You kind of hate to, hey, well, what's going on there? Next thing you know, it could be bad, but we'll see.
Well, the thing is, there's other of us that are making reports and we're not getting any reports from anybody else.
Invisible emissions are,
Yes.
it's not allowed, it's huge.
Okay.
Just a ad hoc question. These out here between Metal Arc and Milner Road, all those tanks out there.
Mhm.
Has anybody inspected whether or not they have been cleaned properly? I don't smell anything usually, but here a while back, I smelled some stuff coming from that direction. And it was 2 times that same day I went by there and smelled it. So I don't know if it was from the tanks or from something further south. But
So on the county side of that, we actually got a complaint. This is back when we had Commissioner Herbst. And he actually made a couple of notifications to TxDOT and to TCQ, and they both went out there. And Dale had told me that they both went out there, looked at the tanks, and there was nothing they could do about the tanks being there. So that was kind of the extent of what I got from Commissioner Herbst at the time. But I know TxDOT and TCQ were both out there looking at the tanks.
I did forget on, we can back up just for a second on training. We're doing a foam testing at the refinery, March 14th. There are some new non-fluorinated foams, the last fire group people out, so the people that are from basically all over the world. We're going to do some burns on 5 different types of foams. So CPEP one meeting, invite you and some of the other fire departments come out. It'll be the whole week. They're going to send us a 10-foot tank and they put 4 foot of crude oil in it, light it, let it burn for about 20-30 minutes, get it preheated, and start testing these foams, see how they work on it. So, hey, you guys got some invites. Come out, take a look. I'll be with you all 5 days. I don't want to do it all.
You don't want to be what you're doing.
Be interesting to see. So. Pretty excited about it. Last part is a huge organization. So, all right. There's nothing else. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second. Motion made. Second. All those in favor?